times.
Do you have a run sheet for tonight? Do you know the times?
First band 7:20.
Cool.
And then 7:50. Does that sound right? We're on at 9.
That sounds all right.
Yeah.
It's a Monday night.
Monday
Yeah,
night.
it's a brutal night to do a show, but we're
Yeah,
here for it.
Is it just like the logistics of it? Is that the way? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because they had us. I don't remember. See, I don't know when else we would have done this show. Yeah, I think it had to be tonight.
We're saying this like touring Australia is kind of hard because of the logistics. Like the East Coast is so big,
Yeah.
and Sydney and Newcastle are kind of close, and then Brisbane's so far away.
Yeah. That's where we're flying, and then we're flying from Brisbane to Melbourne. So it's just like, is what it is.
Yeah.
Is this your first time touring Australia?
Yeah.
Right.
Welcome. Is this your first time in Australia?
And this is my first time in Australia.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a few albums under your belt.
Just a few, 4
Yeah.
4 now.
Yeah. And about to drop another. What's taken so long?
For this one?
Not for the album.
No,
you come to
to get
Australia.
it.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, we've been trying to come here for like 8 years now. We've wanted to. Sounds about right. Maybe 5. It's
3 of that you can blame COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. 3 was COVID, so really like only 2. It's expensive. It's really expensive to get here. So you definitely we wanted to make sure that the tickets would be sold. So we didn't drop $15,000 on plane tickets and then get here and they'll be like, yeah, you're not making any money. It's like, well,
Who are you?
yeah, that isn't going to work. Yeah, we try not to lose money touring. It's actually how we managed to be a band so long. It's
Smart move.
crazy idea that
Yeah.
if you don't lose money, you might be able to sustain. We don't make money, but we don't lose money. I think that's the secret.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Write that
interesting.
down.
Yeah,
That's the
new
secret to
tactic.
being a band. Don't make money, but don't lose money. Yeah.
Also,
Here you go, Johnny.
bold move as well. Is it a bold move, or has it been strategic that your first time out here is also a headlining tour?
I don't know. I don't think I would have assumed that we would have come out here to support somebody, but nobody's ever asked. So it's like, all right, well, I guess we'll just go.
Because they knew you were a headline act and they didn't want to be shown up.
Maybe. No, like even Australian bands that were friends were like, yeah, you should come out. We'll make it work, and then it just never happened. So it's just like, okay, so we're just gonna do the thing on our own, and it's worked out much better, just in terms of being able to kind of control the show, and again, give ourselves the most upside to be able to do it sustainably over here.
Yeah.
Just nice.
When it comes to planning, like you're saying, like you wanted to make sure you had sell the tickets, does like the analytics of streaming give you an indication of like what your audience is in places? Is that how you base that? To be like, okay, we've now got this many listeners in Australia, so we can like justify it.
I think it's a part of it. I think the first time like a promoter over here hit us up to come over, we sent him our Spotify numbers and he never replied to us. So I don't know if he got busy or if he was just like, oh, fuck this. But yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Just seeing if you can justify the shows and how many tickets you think you could do.
Yeah.
And then, certain markets have overperformed and then other markets have kind of been about where we thought they'd be. So yeah, it helps. And then I think the other thing with Australia is making sure that the smaller markets can justify it. Because like we could have come over here and just played Sydney and Melbourne 5 years ago. It would have been fine. But that's no way to, like, if you're going to come over here, you got to fit in as much as possible.
It's a long way to go.
It's a long way to go.
It's a long way to go for 2 shows. And then also, just the market, how it breaks down is just kind of odd, I guess. It's there's parts of the States that are like that too. You have to play, you have to play Omaha, Nebraska sometimes in order to get to Chicago type thing. So I understand the small market, big market thing.
So you obviously only have one show to start. What was the response last night? Did it kind of like match what you thought it might be? Like Australian crowds can be quite different to, I guess you're used to playing the US.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, so it was a great surprise. The audience has been super into it both shows, and they've been very gracious, like happy that we're here, which is very nice, and thanking us for coming here, which is like, thank you for showing up.
Yeah,
because like we get to fly around the world and play music. This is easy for us to do. Like this is fun. This is the job. Versus it's far more annoying. It's far more inconveniencing to like go out to a show than it is to play a show. So I'm always grateful when people show up.
How much of that sort of, do you let sort of ride on your conscience, especially when you are traveling across the world to people that have paid, being an international band, the ticket prices are a little bit higher. How much of that sort of weighs on your conscience that we need to make sure that this is the best experience we can possibly give these people? Or are you at that stage now? You guys have been doing it for a while, where you're quite confident in your songs and yourselves on stage, where we could just go out and do our thing and we'll be fine.
On the music side, I don't think we're ever worried about that. Even last night we had some like technical things, but it didn't like derail the show at all. It was just like a fun joke for 30 seconds as my guitar wasn't working, stuff like that. That never really bogs us down. I think the side of things that we take very seriously is the emotional side of it, for a better term, which is that you as a musician can have the shittiest day of your life, but when you go on stage, that's somebody's night out that they've spent money to go do. And you can't have a shitty day because the people paying don't deserve to see your shitty mood on stage.
Yeah,
because it has nothing to do with you. This is your job. Same thing like if you worked your day job, and you went to work being pissy, like your boss would probably be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." Like, quit acting this way. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just we're like on stage, kind of experiencing it. So it's something we've all taken very seriously. And like everybody has their bad days. And, there's definitely shows where you'll play, and you'll come off stage and be like, "Oh, Dylan is in a terrible mood," but like, let's try not to let people see that he's just pissed off this entire set. But yeah, I think that's the bigger part is not letting life get in the way of the job. But the musical part of that just comes with we've played a lot of shows together, and we've played a lot of shows as musicians on our own too. So it's things will always go wrong. So
it's part of the process, surely.
Yeah, the only thing that gets us down is like and this only ever happens because somebody's having a bad time, is like if the performance is bad. Like stuff can go wrong, you can mess up, but if like you were objectively poor at your performance, then that's an issue. But that has only happened maybe a handful of times, and also I don't think we had friends in the audience like, we couldn't tell, and I was like, I was on stage wanting to throw something at somebody because it was so bad because of
but that's the
personal stuff getting in the way, and then it's all kind of connected.
You're also like acutely aware of what it should be.
Yeah.
Whereas I think like expectation, like friends who've seen you a bunch of times, they might pick up on it.
Yeah.
But for the general public, whatever you're playing, that's the experience.
That's
very face value.
Yeah, that's fair. We try not to let that slip though, because we don't. We don't ever want to be known as like a band that isn't good live.
So you wouldn't ever sort of. Do you think it's important to kind of be? You guys are a super emotionally driven band, like especially like the lyrical content and stuff. Do you think it's important to be transparent and to, I guess, for use of a better term, explain yourself and be honest about how you're feeling as a person, in terms of being relatable to people, or would you rather try and just sort of keep that inside and do your job?
I used to try to be a lot more upfront with people, and a lot, like we're gonna talk about our emotions, blah blah. But I don't really do that anymore because it's kind of nobody's business, and a lot of like the songs are the process of writing the song is me handling the emotion, and after that it's a performance, and like it's a character, or it's it's a story. So I've tried to pull back from that like hyper relatable thing because I kind of miss some of the mystery in music. Like I don't want to know when like a musician I follow like went to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like the oversharing kind of bumps me out. And like I try to do that on Twitter, and then the other thing that happens is like I try to like, God, I hate that I just said on Twitter. But like the
you
other
meant to say on X.
On X,
yeah. That's what he hated about that.
But the other thing is just like some of that sharing, or if you try to be too candid, like this is my off the cuff take on something. Is like a lot of people are like, dude, you're being a dick, and I'm like, I'm really not. But for whatever reason, I've had this happen, and just like, when did this happen recently? I sent a text to somebody or something. They're like, why are you being so condescending? And I was like, I'm not being condescending at all. This is just the statement of facts. And so that side of things has also bled into it. And then during COVID, I was talking about masking up a lot or like vaccinations because we didn't know what was going on with touring and stuff. And when I got COVID on the road, I got very pissed about it. And then to the point where like multiple people were like, you gotta shut up about this because people are getting annoyed with you.
In your defense, a lot of people needed to shut up during that time.
I was on the side of like keeping bands healthy. I still stand by it.
Yeah.
But at that point, I kind of just went like, okay, fuck everybody. I'm just not going to engage anymore with anything. So our social media is a marketing tool now.
That's a hard thing though, because I feel like as a lyricist, you want to like, you're literally like transcribing your love and getting your emotions out there.
Yeah.
I feel like then not being able to be yourself just on social media would be such a like, I'm frustrated for you.
I actually kind of love it because I don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't like it. I wish that we could go back to like grinding it out, like flyering shows and word of mouth, like promoting and paying to promote things.
Yeah.
Versus like, yeah, we'll throw up a Facebook event and call it a day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's funny though what you said about like with the whole Twitter thing. What is it like? It's like 160 characters or something?
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's much easier to sound like an arsehole
Yeah.
in 160 characters than it is to sound like a good person.
Some people are good at it, and I've just discovered I'm not good at it, or I'm not famous enough. It's one of those two. Probably a combination of those two. Versus people who are like actively dicks on social media who get love for it. Maybe I need to lean into it. Maybe I need to be more of a dick.
That's it, yeah.
But then I do that, and people are like, dude, you're being fucking mean.
Your
I'm just
profile
like,
picture has to be this.
yeah, so I try not to engage, and yeah, it speaks to the bigger thing. I don't know, I'm trying to bring, I like mystery in music. I like not knowing every single thing about every single person at all times. It's more interesting.
And here we are trying to tell you people all about it.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
It's all.
I'm very upfront with things, but also I'm very aware of the like role that I'm playing in it, or the character, or whatever. It's been like a big part with this album, especially too. It's just.
I've got to say that. Is that something that over time you've like become more and more of like writing from a character perspective as opposed to like a very like.
Yeah, I mean, I've always sort of gone in and out of it, but Brave Faces was the first time where it was like definitely more story driven, even though like it's like a dream. Like you're every character in a story that when you're writing a song. Like if it's not, I'm not really interested in it. Like I don't listen to a lot of like high concept sci-fi bands or something because I'm not engaging in that. But if it's like a personal story that's being told, I'm more likely to engage with it. So yeah, it's been like a fine line because people tend to assume that because I wrote the song, it's about me or something, which I don't blame them for because the early albums it was like a one-to-one thing, and then Brave Faces it kind of changed, and then this album it definitely is blurred more than ever. But I have no problem with people thinking that I'm the person in the songs because it's also not. It's the character of me in the song. Like even if it's a small character, it still is a character. So yeah, it's been something I think.
You're writing about being a psychopath or.
Yeah. I'm like
anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, that's the secret, the hidden metaphors, you know, the true conspiracy theory shit. That's all me.
I knew it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory? Have you got a good there's some great ones out there.
You know what? I also think I'm not a conspiracist, and I read something like that's so believable.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, they got me.
Yeah. Conspiracy theories are weird because it's people. I understand conspiracy theories, which is that like the world is complex and scary, and we need to make sense of it. The thing I don't get about conspiracy theories is it's like, let's take the most ass-backwards way of explaining this, and that's what's really happening. And it's like paranoia of like, they're out to get me. The one that the government controls the weather, the government controlling the weather is like a really good one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I like the birds aren't real.
Birds Are Real is fucking insane.
I haven't heard that.
It's so crazy.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Would you like to tell the story? We've got to fill in dum-dum over here.
I don't know the deeper part of it. I just know
I
Birds
do
Are
know.
Real.
So I listened to a whole podcast on it because I was so fascinated by it. So this one dude, I'm going to spoil it straight away. It's one dude doing a prank.
Spoil it.
He made this whole thing of like, it's a movement that birds aren't real, they're actually government drones. Every bird in the world is a drone for the government to spy on people. And they had all this like footage where he showed of like all these birds dropping at once. It's like, oh, the network cut out. And it was actually like a bunch of swallows doing like a dive or something. But he'd done a really good job of just like putting this on and then aiming it at the dumbest demographic possible to start with. and then he went on news articles and would do like interviews, but then to get his point across, he'd be like, it just makes me so sick, and like I just get so worked up on it. And like there's one interview where he vomited on live air because he was like so worked up about the thing. He'd actually like drunk like a liter of milk before going on to make himself feel sick, and it came out that this was all the stunt. But it was so convincing that still people out there are like, yeah, birds aren't real.
Wow.
They're all government drones.
Well, you like flat Earth and stuff.
It's a
wows
real
me.
bummer. It's a
Wows
real
me.
bummer.
I like the ones that, like, the pyramids. That's never really been, like, quantified, this is how that was made.
Yeah.
I like
You like
the
stuff that's
mystery
like
of it.
borderline believable.
Well, it's not unbelievable. I'm just like the fact that we can't get an answer to that yet.
I tend to obsess over the ones that are like real bummers, like the climate change isn't real. Like that
Oh,
conspiracy
yeah.
theory, that this is all
Yeah.
fake.
But the thing is, a lot of them, they have to stem from a thought that, or an instance or a situation that is, questionable or believable to an extent.
Yeah.
And people have this knack of being able to take that and run with it and just put all the little spider webs together.
Yeah.
And it does make it quite convincing with a lot of it. It's crazy.
Or there's the dumb ones, like the climate change ones, and then you just get someone like Trump to be like, it's not real, and then all the people that support him are like, well, I don't need to do the research, he said it's not.
I mean, it's that, and the world's scary, and it doesn't make sense, and also like putting the effort in to understand things is hard.
Yeah.
And I get that. I don't want to understand things most of the time. So
I just
sometimes
can't.
I get like wanting to be, I don't know, wanting to just find an answer and just buy into it and believe it. That'd be cool.
But there is so much mystery in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
the same
nature
with-
of being
it's-
alive, probably. It's
Yeah.
the same. Yeah, I often. Yeah.
I feel like that, do you reckon, like, as humans, like, we've got all this information, our fingertips that we weren't supposed to have? Like,
Yeah, maybe.
we were supposed to have 100 people in our entire lives, and that's what we learned from those 100 people, and now
Yeah.
we've got 100,000 people at our fingertips at any 1 second.
Yeah, and
People
every,
who can put an idea in your head.
Yeah,
as
well,
that's the worst part.
We're evolving due to technology. I'm just talking out loud here.
No, it's good. It's
Just rub it on Twitter.
It's getting deep, man. No, but just like, yeah, I just wish people would just shut up.
Well,
That would
there's
be-
all of that.
Yeah.
Do you feel pressured at all to comment on situations?
No, because I'm full of shit. I don't know anything.
Oh, great.
So I should shut up, and everybody else should also just shut the fuck
Most
up.
people should shut up.
Yeah, just shut up. Like, life might be better if we all just like shut up and just like
And listen to
just
new
like vibe
albums.
with each other, dude. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just like vibe, dude. Yeah, just listen to No Joy and just have a good time.
We should talk about that more too. That's
Man!
why you're here. We've had the album for a couple months, so we've been able to
Hell
listen
yeah.
to it for a while. And
So
like,
it's a government psyop. It's not actually real.
damn it!
I knew
didn't
it!
get that at
I
all.
knew it!
Yeah.
I knew it. It's a
Um,
conspiracy. It's not actually them playing, it's the birds.
It's the birds.
government drones. Having sat on the album for a while, because obviously like we've had it for a while.
Yeah.
How for you, like you write them as you said, like almost like from a character perspective. Does that change songs for you over time? I'm always interested in this because the album release process seems to be getting longer and longer for a lot of
Oh yeah,
bands.
we finished the album like a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that experience like for you sitting on these songs for so long you've written? Does it change the perspective of like what you wrote about when you start finally getting to play them live, or
No, I don't really think about it because it's a process. So like the initial writing of the song is that's the emotion, that's the thing. Sorry, I'm drinking bubbly water during an interview, which is the dumbest thing you can do.
It's
But
okay.
just let it rip.
it's yeah, you haven't met Johnny yet, so it's fine.
No, so like that's the initial emotion. Like that's the exercise for me that I would probably do if I wasn't in a band at all. Like that's just the act of writing something out as a way of dealing with it or thinking about it, or even just like I'm driving down the highway and I have a silly thought, or you know what I mean, just like
Yeah.
that's the thing. And then we go to the band, and then that's the next sort of process is the arrangement and getting it up and running and see if it's like worth doing. And then we record it, and then it's an active translation of like how can I explain what I'm hearing to the band, and how can they bring their ideas, and how can we sort of merge them together into something that's cohesive and makes sense and also is like interesting
Yeah.
and like good. That's always the hardest part.
Making it good.
And then by the time it's done, it's like we're a cover band at that point because people used to ask me like, are you ever just like reliving the moments and the songs over? And I'm like, absolutely not. I would be a wreck.
Yeah,
like I am. It's all muscle memory. Even by the time we're playing a few new songs tonight, I don't remember what the songs are necessarily even about at this point, and I don't really care. I'm more interested in what everybody else is bringing to the songs. Yeah, and even when we have to like write up press things, like, can you give us like 3 lines on what the song's about? And I'll pull shit out of thin air that I then realize like, oh, this song could be about that. So that's what the song's about.
I'm so clever.
Yeah, but I mean that kind of makes sense. It's just like, yeah, that's the only way to do it. Yeah, I think I actually understand the songs more after I start hearing other people talk about them. And I go, oh, you know what? That's my take on the song.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it changed your perspective on the songs, and I guess that way it means that they're ever evolving. And maybe when you play a song for the 100,000th time, you're like, I got a new perspective this time.
Yeah. I mean,
It's supposed to keep it fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. Also, again, because I am dumb, so like what I think about a song, I should just shut up about it. It doesn't matter.
Very self-depreciating.
But I don't
You're gonna fit in
mean
real well here.
But I don't mean that in a like I suck way. I mean it in like, I don't know. I feel superior in my comfort of knowing that I don't matter.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I'm confidently stupid in all of these things.
That's the worst combination.
Yeah, but I don't talk about it, right?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Confidently stupid, but quiet.
I'm just trying to like maximize my happiness in life and minimize the hurt I cause.
And
other
yet you
people.
brought out an album called No Joy.
Yeah, but that's kind of the fun of it. But like, I'm just trying to live before I like get stomach cancer in my 50s and die. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm trying to do.
This album though, it definitely sounds like a Spanish love songs album, but it's a little bit of a departure sonically as well. There's quite a lot of new moving parts and elements through it, and why this direction now? What was it that led you to? Was it anything that you were listening to? Was there any specific things that you were feeling? It's just.
He doesn't remember what he was feeling.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he goes, I
Make
think
something
it's
up.
gone.
Yeah,
Shut up. It's gone. When I was a child, no. This is the stuff that I've always listened to and always kind of liked and grew up with. Born in the USA was playing in my house like since I was born, and that is Americana rock with the coolest synth sounds of all time mixed into one. And so it's been kind of a natural growth for us, and I don't know. I guess during the pandemic, I got back into my love of dance music, which probably helped a little bit. We all got a bunch of new toys because we're all home and bored. So it was like, what synth can I buy on the used market and play with? And also just like not wanting to do the same thing over and over, but still have it make sense, I guess. Because it's not like we wrote like a hardcore album where you're like, what the hell is it? It's it's us but different.
Yeah, it's not a departure. It's just like along the journey.
Yeah, it's just and this is stuff we're interested in and stuff we've been trying to fit into the albums for as long as I can remember. So I haven't necessarily had the skills to like tell that to people or how to make it happen. And I think as a band, that's the same thing. Is like we haven't necessarily known how to pull this off. And so yeah, I feel like it was just a natural thing of this is what we ended up doing, and it was an experiment, and we enjoyed it. And I can't say what the next one's going to sound like, but this is what this one sounds like. This is what we were capable of. This is what we ended up doing, and yeah, I don't think there's any deeper thought than like it's what we wanted to do.
How are you finding fitting in the newer songs in with the older set?
Yeah,
Because they have something that you weren't sure how to fit in currently.
I think the ones we're launching with kind of fit in pretty well. I think a lot of it's just about confidence too. Like as soon as we all get it up in a room playing it, it's just gonna sound like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the live experience is always different. For even
And-
the most different.
Yeah,
songs.
and like we've expanded a little bit. Like we have to play because there's all that like droney shit going on. We have to play tracks, which is fine. There it is. But yeah, I think it's fitting nicely. I think I've like cleaned up some of our older tones. Like I think Kyle and I both have like been like, okay, older songs, we're gonna dial that distortion back so they kind of blends a little bit better.
Yeah.
But this is a good like, I don't know. I say this every album, but I'm like, this is the stepping stone album into the next thing. But I said that about the last one too, so I don't know what the hell we're doing.
They're all stepping stones.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. We're just writing songs that hopefully people enjoy.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
See,
it's
now
great.
Well
It's a
done.
really great.
It's
album.
great, yeah. And then as soon as people don't enjoy it, we'll just stop. It's fine. Like, it has a life, and it'll be great. And, or maybe people will always love it, and we'll just keep playing music till we die on stage. That'd be honestly the dream.
Well, that'd be certainly something if you're in the crowd watching that. Just like,
What an honor it would
Should
be.
we help?
Could you imagine being at like your favorite musician's death? That'd be insane.
But also so
that
heartbreaking.
has,
Oh, yeah, it would
that has
suck.
happened for people though.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I don't know.
like,
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, Dimebag Darrell.
Well, that's
that's
not
terrible.
what I want to be at. Yeah.
No,
That's,
God no.
Yeah.
That's not.
Horrid.
That's not like
I
a.
think it's something.
Yeah, that's not a noble.
Yeah.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, could you imagine like Elton John is like, here we go, guys. This is my last note, and then I'm going out. Like they're shooting me out.
Swirling on the piano.
Boom. Hold me closer. It's just, you know what I mean. That'd be. There's something nice about that, I guess.
I hope it never happens to me.
No,
Yeah.
it actually. I'm joking. I never. But we joke about dying on stage because it'd be an experience for sure.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it's not tonight.
I want to go
we are-
completely
yeah,
off
sorry.
topic for a moment though, because I noticed
We've
you're
only
wearing.
got certain moments left, by the way. We're
Yeah, but this
rambling.
is important. I noticed you're wearing a Slipknot shirt.
I am.
I love the bands wearing merchandise that they
This
don't
is
sound
actually-
anything like.
It's a Slipknot whiskey shirt, which is even better.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Slipknot is from Iowa, and this distillery called Cedar Ridge makes a whiskey called Slipknot Number 9. And I enjoy Slipknot, and I enjoy their whiskey. And we were at the distillery. We were back in Iowa like a month ago, and yeah, they had the shirt. We had to get it. The whiskey's also very good.
That's a cool, like,
Yeah.
that's a little shirt that most people wouldn't have too. So that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's like it's
a
pretty,
bit of a
it's pretty
flex.
nice. Yeah,
It's a bit
it's
of a flex.
the only thing I don't like about it is that on the back it says like made in Iowa, but it's like super hard. And
Yeah.
so I feel like I'm wearing like an Affliction shirt or something.
Well, my point for bringing it up was,
Yeah.
you know, like people wouldn't maybe necessarily expect you to listen to Slipknot.
Yeah.
What are some bands that you would love to play with, even on a mixed bill, that people wouldn't expect you to want to share the stage with, or you know, what would be bucket list bands?
Elton John on that final.
Yeah.
Elton
yeah,
John.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
not
David.
even that's not even a stretch. That's just a no-brainer.
Slipknot, Elton John's Spanish love song.
Slipknot,
That is a show.
Slipknot would be up there. That would be insane. Let me see if I kick it back. Carly Rae Jepsen would be
Oh,
just a,
You know what?
a dream. That would
I
actually
don't
make
think
sense
she
too.
made it in Australia because everyone knows
What?
that one song,
That one song.
and no one knows
Yeah.
past that. But a lot of my American friends are all like, listen to her.
That's insane. Yeah, that would be fun, and also not that big of a stretch. She does like indie pop. What other weird bands? That's a tough question. I'm trying to think of bands that I don't think anything's that obscure that I listen to.
oh, it just could be any.
I'd like
you
to
know,
do a show
bucket
with
list
the
band.
Streets. That'd be cool.
Oh man, I love the Streets. That
Yeah.
would be sick.
Are they still a thing? They had a new single come out very recently. It's
And he
very
also
good.
features on a few stuff.
Yeah,
quite
Yeah.
often.
yeah. Still good. Still good after all these years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I don't know.
That is a hell of a mixed bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Final question, the hard one.
Hard hitting.
look, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get
You're about to go on stage. Yeah, it's a very serious question.
Okay,
You're about to go on
perfect.
stage. Okay.
To die.
To die. Yeah.
It
yeah,
lasts
yeah,
an
yeah.
hour.
show.
It's an Elton John level length set as well.
Cool,
like
cool,
you guys
cool.
are 2 hours.
Cool.
Right? You have to go on stage and put on either cold wet socks or either cold wet underwear. What do you choose and why?
I'm choosing cold wet socks because I'm gonna start sweating in my feet anyways, and I won't know the difference.
My dude.
Cold wet underwear is a disgusting option.
See?
That is
Yeah.
just that is.
I knew I
You're
liked
gonna
it.
chafe right away.
You're the first person, actually.
You're
if
going
you're
to
the
chafe.
first person that said the chafing. That's my whole thing. It's
You're
like,
going
you're gonna
to
chafe.
chafe.
Fucking see?
You guys
Listen
either
to
need
No Joy, you people.
No. You guys need either smaller thighs or
I
wider power
100%
stances.
need smaller thighs.
Why
I don't want to
power
talk about
stances?
that right now.
Nah. Big thighs for life, baby. Dude, thanks for taking the time.
Of course, of course.
We're stoked to have you here, Fly.
Hell yeah, yeah, we're excited to be here.
And enjoy tonight.
I will do my best. No, it'll be great. It'll be great.
It's your final
We'll-
show.
we'll let you know.
Yeah, this is the death show. Damn it.
What a place to go. Hamilton Station Hotel.